I've never asked the question, why be Jewish? It's not a question that I've ever been conscious of. I'm Jewish because that's who I am. It's almost like it's something I'm not self-conscious. I'm unconscious about. I think it's part of my being at this point. I grew up in a modern Orthodox community. Parents, all my grandparents are Holocaust survivors. My parents were born in Europe right after the war. It's part of the way I breathe, the part of the way I eat. Everything I do is Jewish, and everything I do is about commandments. And I've thought a lot about why do commandments, right? Which is a slightly different question, and why and it's something I continue, especially the fact that I'm a rabbi and I'm almost paid to think about them. I don't know if I have an easy answer. But I've thought about it, and one of the things that I do it partly because I'm commanded to do them. Partly I do it because I do them out of love. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. You're doing something out of ahava, out of love. I also do it because it makes me conscious about everyday life, and I think this is where this connects. Why do commandments connects to what Uri L'Tzedek is about. I do commandments. Well, once I start thinking about is something kosher, not kosher, I think it leads down other questions about whether it is kasher also, not only kosher, but is it yosher? How is this produced? It makes me conscious of, well, I can't go into this bagel store, even though I'm really hungry, because these bagels just don't have a hechsher on them, and I don't know exactly how they were produced, and in my office, when I go out for lunch, and I see all these really interesting looking restaurants and I want to eat there. Well, I don't do that. I pause for a second and I eat the bagel or the pre-wrapped sandwich which they sell for people who eat kosher. Well, that makes me conscious of, well, what am I eating, and how am I eating, and what is eating about, and is it just about eating, or but what type of social relationships I have. And I think that when I try learning and try thinking about commandments, I try uncovering that element. What's the reason? And I know this is part of a long-standing Jewish disagreement on, well, do commandments have reasons? It goes back 2,000 years. Some people say yes. I really think that they do, and I try uncovering them. I can't think of a Judaism which is just doing because of doing, but doing because, well, why are you doing? And what does that tell you about who you are? That's an interesting question. That's why I think I'm Jewish.